Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Side Hustle Crafter. In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn this $1 picture frame into an adorable first birthday gift. So to start, I'm going to grab some pink paint. This is Apple Barrel Matte Candy Pink, and I'm going to paint all around the sides of the frame. It took me about 4 coats to cover this, so if you have any chalk paint on hand, I would probably use that instead of this because the chalk paint is a little bit thicker. And in between my coats, I did use a heat gun to speed up the process, but I'm just gonna quickly move through painting the sides here. Okay, so once that's done, I'm going to start to make some decorations to put around the frame. So I'm going to take this silicone mold, and it's the shape of a swirl, and I'm just going to add a little bit of oil into it. And then I'm going to use air dry foam clay and make a whole bunch of these. So I did make a few with just the purple, and then I took white and mixed the white and purple together, but I didn't mix it entirely, and then I just made a few with the combination of the purple and the white. And then I'm going to grab another silicone mold, and I'm going to make some strips to put around the sides of the frame, and I'm going to use the middle shape, and I'm going to make about 4 of these. And with any of the silicone molds that I use, I always put a little bit of oil in them, and this just helps to prevent the clay from sticking to the mold. So I am using air dry foam clay, and I just want to make sure that when I go to take the clay out, that everything is nice and neat and nothing sticks. And this is an olive oil. You can use any oil that you have on hand. So I'm going to use a white air dry foam clay to make these strips, and I'll make 4 of the same shape, and just using white for all 4. And I'm going to roll it in my hands just to make it somewhat of the same length as the mold, and then just start pressing the clay in and making sure that it's not too much. So just keep pressing and kind of pulling the clay towards you until you have the whole mold that's filled. And then once you're ready and you think that the clay is in there securely, just flip the mold over and hold one side and pull it back. So I'll repeat this a few times so that we can make enough for all sides of the frame. And once those strips are made, I'm going to start decorating the frame. So I'm going to take the flowers that I made earlier, and I'm going to grab a hot glue gun, and I will use that to secure the flowers down, as well as the strips. You can make these decorations ahead of time and let them dry, and you can use a super glue or a hot glue, but for the sake of the video, I am just using pretty much these flowers and the strips right after I've made them. I keep saying flowers. I guess they're swirls or flowers. They kind of look like flowers to me, but I guess you could use them for either a frosting swirl or a flower. I'll repeat the same process. I'll use the hot glue to get these strips down, and I'll put a little bit of glue first and then lay the air dry foam clay down and then cut whatever is extra off. And because the air dry foam clay on these hasn't dried completely yet, I am able to manipulate the shapes a little bit, so just kind of fixing them so they're butting right up against those swirls. You can still make these ahead of time. I would make them a little bit longer than what you need so that you can trim them in process and get them to fit correctly. And this frame is really looking good. I actually forget what the dollar frame looked like to start. So we're just gonna repeat the process for all sides. Now I want to add some more decorations, so I'm going to grab some clear tacky glue and I'm going to put that right on top of the strips. So I'm just going to spread that glue out, and then I'll grab some sprinkles that are, I guess, confetti-like, maybe birthday-like, and I'm going to place them all over these white strips. And the glue not only helps these confetti stick to the white strips, but the glue will also help seal your clay, which will help protect the clay from cracking. You can always spray this later. Once everything is dry completely, you can spray it with a matte or a sparkle or a shiny spray to seal everything in. But for now, I'm just going to use the glue, which will help us adhere the confetti and then also seal up the clay. And if you ever need any inspo, or if you feel like you're kind of stuck creatively on what to do, I always like to go take a look on Pinterest. Pinterest has so many great examples and really nice photos that you can look at, and you can always grab some inspiration from there. So here I'm just going to add some fine glitter right on top of that glue that we laid down. So the glue again will help the glitter stick, and then also, like I said, seal up the clay for us. So I'm going to repeat this process for all of the other sides. And for the glue, I just ended up using my finger to spread the glue around. It just kind of worked better than that silicone brush that I was using. So now on top of the swirls, I'm going to add some flower decorations. These were made previously with air dry foam clay. I just kind of felt like the swirls needed a little something extra on top of them. So we'll add one to each of the swirls. And like I said, these flowers were previously made, so they're completely dry. So I am able to kind of push down on them a little bit harder and not worry that the shape of the little flowers will get distorted. So now I just want to add a little bit more glitter to the painted sides of the frame. So I'm just going to grab some clear school glue and just add that all around those strips where we didn't already have glue, and then place the fine glitter around each of these. Next up, we're going to cover the side of the frame that is not so pretty. So I'm going to grab this purple paper that I have, and this is actually Cricut paper. So it does have a sticky side to it. So I just measured it off camera to make sure it would fit, and just peeling it back, and I'm going to cover this side of the cardboard piece of the frame. And this frame did come with a piece of glass or plastic for the front, but I'm not going to use that. So I just added that purple to the back of the frame and closed it up with those little hooks. So next up, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this piece that I made. I made this a while ago. This was back when I actually was selling crafts on Etsy. That was a while ago, and that's probably a story for another day. But I did make this piece here, and it's basically just a canvas board that I painted, and then I used air dry foam clay to make the shapes, and then I used my Cricut to make the sign Ashley's first birthday. So what I'm going to do is just take that sign and I'm going to glue it with hot glue down to the purple that we just put in. But you could, of course, use that piece of glass that the frame came with if you have a picture you want to put in there, or if you have made a piece of art and you want to put that in, or even a greeting card. You know, you could cut the front off and use the front. And this is our final result. So if you remember, we started with that $1 dollar frame, which was not the prettiest, and we turned it into this really adorable sign, or it could be a gift, or if you want to make it and just place it out for somebody's birthday party. You can really adjust this to make it anything that you need it for and customize it. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what you think of this craft in the comments below, and share any ideas that you might have for, things that you have lying around that you can reuse or make gifts from. Any ideas like that, please share.